Is the SAR-21 the greatest assault rifle in the game or the worst? Find out in today's episode. I'm just kidding. Hey guys, what's up? Tactic. You know who I am, you know what I do. And today we are breaking down and getting to the bottom of shit with the SAR-21. I'm going to be reviewing it, breaking down what attachments I think are good, so on and so forth. Now, before we even get into this, I just want to say this is a gameplay on Rush with Siege of Shanghai. That's the map. I really enjoy this gun, and I just want to say that there are a few clips where I only get one kill, and you might be saying, okay, well, this is a fucking noob, he's just killing one person, that's not a clip. Okay, listen, calm down, alright, let's just relax for a second. I just want to say that when I use those clips, it's just because I want to show the kill time in between, you know, a certain distance, or I want to show you how quickly the gun kills someone up close and personal or at long range, using a very limited scope, because I'm using a Coyote red dot sight, similar to what you find in Call of Duty. So, with that being said, those single kill clips are very important if you're looking at this gun objectively and you're trying to find out if this is the right gun for your playstyle. It's important to have those single kill clips in so you can say, okay, well, it took like 4 or 5 seconds for him to kill him long range. That's not really my style. I like something that kills people faster. Or, man, that was really accurate. I really enjoyed that. I think I can do really well with this gun because I'm a marksman and I get all headshots. So regardless of, you know, your flavor of choice, that's why I put these single kill clips in. Other clips of me getting like 8, 10 kills just because I thought they were really cool. Anyway, let's break this gun down. Now, the SAR-21 has 600 RPM. This gun shoots slow as fuck, son. It shoots so slow. It is ridiculous. Its muzzle velocity is 650 meters per second, but I don't think that really matters just because, you know, unless you're shooting people from a mile away, I mean, you don't really need to lead your shots. I guess you want to be careful in terms of trading because, you know, the muzzle velocity is not the quickest. But overall, this gun is very slow. It's very accurate. Now, a little thing I want to talk about in terms of this gun, a little hiccup. When you first pick up this gun, you'll notice that the recoil, although it doesn't move that much, it has this circle. The reticule likes to bounce around a lot. And unless you put on the right attachments, it's going to bounce around a lot, which makes it really only effective at like medium range tops. So you want to make sure you put the right shit on this gun to make sure that you are the optimal killing machine. So with this gun, I put on a muzzle brake and an angled foregrip. I found that to be the most effective. Now, if you go to a website like simthic.com, it'll show you that, wow, that may not be the most accurate. However, hear me out. Here's where it starts to get a little complex. When you shoot anywhere over 4 bullets with this gun, it becomes wildly inaccurate. I mean, if you try it, flank an enemy and then start unloading into him without letting go of the trigger, you'll find that the bullets go everywhere. It's like they're on crack or something. I don't know what's going on with it. So I said, okay, obviously an attachment like a stubby grip or a potato grip, that's not going to help. So what I need to do is get something that just makes that first shot super good, and I can just burst fire. So an angled foregrip in that area is super effective. Same thing if you're going to use a gun like an M4 or any burst fire gun, an angled foregrip is definitely the way to go. Now, with this gun, I have to burst, remember, because the bullets go everywhere if you hold down the trigger for even remotely too long. Other guns, you can hold down the trigger for a little longer. This one I found, it felt different. This gun feels like you really have to burst it, even though the recoil is deceivingly low. Okay? So, with that said, I would test out those attachments. If you don't like those attachments, go into the test range, man, and try it out. If you care about your KD, though, you might want to be careful, because when you go into the test range on Battlefield, anytime you try to redeploy or put on different attachments, you have to put a death onto your stats. I don't know why the fuck DICE did that. If I'm trying to figure out how a gun works, why do I need to accumulate like 10 different deaths just to do that? Right? Because I like to, I consider myself a killer. I consider myself able to get a lot of kills in a game, and I think that reflects on my stats. And so, if I'm going to test out a gun, I like to break into guns. I like to see what feels like what. I don't go into the statistics of a gun, like the RPM. Well, I like the RPM. But when I look at, Simthic, and I see the recoil to the left, recoil to the right, I don't really look at that shit. I pick up a gun and I see how it feels. And I try out all the attachments and I see which one I know works for me. You know when you get that right attachment on a gun and you're just like, that's it, perfect. This is the attachment for me. I've got it. This is the God gun for me. That's what I look for. And I think it's just really fucking stupid that I have to have 20 deaths to go into a test range and do that. Come on, DICE. Fix that shit. That's stupid. And you know that's stupid. Anyway, I also put in clips of other guns in this gameplay just to compare and contrast. You know, there's an SG-553 and then some, I think it's like it's a CMB, some submachine gun, some PDW, just to show the differences a little bit. I just figured, you know, why not? I was going on a little bit of a killing spree, and they're cool clips anyway, so I figured that you guys would enjoy that. Now, if you're trying to figure out what type of playstyle you know you have, or you're trying to figure out what gun matches your playstyle just optimally, perfectly, so you're just the best player in the game, then you really want to make sure that you have the right gun at your disposal, yeah? So this gun is optimal for long-range engagements with the right attachments and medium range. Up close and personal, you got to be a little careful. You go up against good guns, like an MX4, that's just rapes people up close. I mean, it just demolishes people up close. You want to make sure that you don't get into those one-on-one engagements where you're head-to-head with like an MX4, that starting engineer gun. It'll melt you. So if you're looking for a long-range engagement gun, this is your go-to girl right here. If you're looking for a gun that may shoot a little faster and has more up-close personal damage, use a FAMAS. Even an M416, I would say, might be a little bit better up close. Well, I don't know. They're pretty comparable. The SAR-21 and the M4 are pretty comparable. The SAR-21, the AK-12, and the M416 are very comparable in my opinion. They all have very low recoil, very accurate. With the right attachments, they're all killing machines. So those are guns that are great for long range. Because they're comparable, I would definitely say that there is one gun to rule them all out of at least those three. I would say the M416, in my opinion, is a little bit better than the SAR-21 just because I feel like I'm more accurate. I feel like I don't have to burst as much. I feel like I can really just full auto the gun and get the kills that I need to. You may be sitting here saying, okay, well, you know, Hectic, if you full auto the gun and, you know, the M416, it's a newbie gun. Okay, no. The M416 is not a newbie gun because it's just really good. Well, okay, well, I can understand the argument that it might be a little newbie, but it doesn't matter. The gun is effective as fuck. And if you like the gun and it's good, then fucking use it. And I really enjoy the M416, but we're talking about the SAR-21. In comparison with the SAR-21, I feel like the SAR-21 is just lacking. I feel like it's not as deadly when you hold down the trigger. You really have to burst fire it. That takes away some of the power. You have to put on, you know, the right attachments, which can get kind of frustrating. So on and so forth. It's a great gun, don't get me wrong. It sounds awesome, it looks awesome. But at the end of the day, it is not in its own class. It does not outclass the M416. I don't know about the AK-12. You could totally compare the two. But anyways, I'm done ranting. It's been real, it's been fun. More gameplay coming your way. As always, subscribe for shenanigans and tomfoolery, motherfuckers. Peace, like, comment, and subscribe. Love you guys.